baby, right back into the action for another day of the week. Yeah, let's go. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Chasing That Paper, presented by VegasInsider.com. Coming up another winning day. Personally, yesterday, not so much for Kevin Rogers, but a 0.3 unit day for me yesterday, as Iain MacMillan said to me before going on air. Don't spend it all in one place. So 3 straight profitable days for myself at least. On the show, we're going to try to keep that winning energy going into today. Got 4 picks for the NBA. My co-host, let's bring him in now, Iain MacMillan, senior editor over at VegasInsider, going all in on the NHL, wearing a nice navy blue polo. Who would appear the man of the minute, Mr. Manhattan, as he's known around New York. Iain, did you catch a game last night?
Did I catch a game last night? No, I did not. You know what I did last night, Joe? I ran.
I don't want to guess.
I ran for an hour straight.
Something perverted, I was going to guess, but
no, I just ran for which actually is kind of perverted. To run for 60 straight minutes, I've never done that before in my life. It is actually kind of perverted. So I did that last night around Central Park. So that was my exciting night. It almost killed me. That
is pretty questionable behavior by Iain. Absolutely. I watched this documentary on Netflix, the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker. Pretty fucked up story. I recommend watching. It takes a pretty dark and disturbing twist at the end, but entertaining. Anyhow, back to sports. We got 7 picks to get into. Second half of the show, we're going to be talking a little PGA, a little NFL, a little NBA MVP talk as well. Okay, let's get right into the action. We're going to start things off in the NBA. We got the Boston Celtics in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. Give me the Celtics -3 on the full game spread in this one. So the top-heavy Nets, they're going to be in a lot of trouble without Kevin Durant, who's expected to be out a month. Who's stepping up for this team? After KD and Kyrie, who both averaged 26 or more, Nick Claxton is the next highest scorer at 11.9 points per game. And the only other player on the Nets averaging double-digit points, KD and Kyrie, are the only 2 Nets averaging double-digit shot attempts. Kyrie not doing so good versus his former team, on an 0-6 slide versus the Celtics. This includes an 11-point loss in early December. 8 straight wins for Boston versus Brooklyn. Overall, Celtics rebounding after a rough patch as well. 4 straight wins, 8-2 in their last 10 games. Wins versus quality competition like the Bucks twice, the Mavs, the Clippers. Playing strong defense to open the new year. Don't sweat the back-to-back spots. That's the position the Celtics are in. And I don't want to hear for God's sake second. They've been fantastic in the second game of back-to-back. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread in the second. Give me this Celtics -3. All right, Iain, your first pick on the ice. What do you got?
I'm looking at my Toronto Maple Leafs. If you see that back there, that's an outline of the old Maple Leafs Gardens. Yeah, they should move back to that stadium. I don't think it exists anymore. But I'm going to take my Maple Leafs -145 tonight. I think this line is absolutely disrespectful, Joe. I know they don't have Austin Matthews in the lineup. I know he's sidelined with hopefully a minor injury. But this Maple Leafs team, they're good. And not only are they good, but they're extremely good in their own end. One of the better defensive teams in the league, which is not something I've ever said about the Maple Leafs, I don't think, in my entire life cheering for them. Second in expected goals against over their last 10 games. Only the Flames rank better in that category over the last couple of weeks here. Now they take on a Red Wings team that I guess is being overvalued in the spot for some reason. They're not good. 25th in Corsi percentage over their last 10 games is generally not a good hockey team, below average at best. And Ville Husso, who will be starting for the Red Wings tonight, he has struggled as of late. He has an .845 save percentage in 3 starts in January. I expect the Leafs to be able to fill the net tonight. Give me the Toronto Maple Leafs -145 against Detroit.
Iain, I hate to break it to you, but the Maple Leaf Gardens, that place is a complete and total dump.
Oh.
Come on now.
That's like calling Lambeau Field a dump. It's historic.
Doesn't matter. Historic often means overrated. in my opinion. Yankee Stadium? Give me a
Yankee
break.
Stadium is a dump.
Yeah, total dump. Bleacher bums out there. Okay, back to the NBA. Another nice game. We get the Bucks in Miami taking on the Heat. I'm going to take the Bucks as a plus for underdog in this one. So fade the Miami Heat after a win. No consistency whatsoever from this team. They are 6-13-2 ATS after a win this season. They're coming off a close win versus the Thunder the other night in a back-to-back spot for the Bucks. Don't sweat it. People overrate these back-to-back spots. 4-0 straight up. And ATS for the Bucks in the second game of a back-to-back. The short rest does not bother them, and they are the much better defensive team in this game. Opponent EFG percentage over the last 10 games, 3rd versus 26, favoring, of course, a Milwaukee. 3rd versus 22nd, an opponent free throw attempt rate. Miami cannot defend the three-point shot. Give me the Bucks. +4. All right, Ian, back to the ice. What do you got next?
Oh, excuse me.
You okay? Are you all right, Ian? You know we're live, right? We're
I
live
know,
on
I'm
YouTube
sorry.
right now, damn it.
I just breathed in some saliva. But what I got for you next, Joe, is an
TMI.
underdog money line alert. Underdog money line alert. Tito, come on, man. What do we do when we bet on a big underdog, Tito? You guys want a big underdog? I'll give you a big underdog. Give me the Seattle Kraken, +200 against the Boston Bruins tonight. I know the Bruins have the best record in the NHL. They're on their way to winning the President's Trophy, but I actually think they're a little bit overrated. I don't think they're as good as the record indicates. I don't think they're as good as you, the viewer, thinks they are. You look at some statistics, you know how much I love Corsi percentage. 17th in the NHL in Corsi percentage over their last 10 games. 16th in expected goals for over the same stretch. Those stats are pretty average, I believe. And also now they have to take on the Seattle Kraken, who are the hottest shooting team in the entire NHL. They have a shooting percentage of 14.19% over their last 10 games. They're also averaging 4.36 goals per game over that same stretch. Both of those are league leading metrics. I think it's a little bit of a sell high spot on Boston here. I don't think they are as good as their record indicates. I think this price is completely lopsided. I'll take the red hot Kraken to pull off I'll take a shot here. 2-1. I think it's worth it. Give me Seattle.
All right, taking a shot on the Crackheads. I'm trying to get that going. The Crackheads for the Seattle Krakens. All right, guys, our biggest underdog of the night in the NBA is the OKC Thunder, coming in at +10 in Philly. I'm taking a shot on the biggest underdog of the night in the NBA. There we go. A little late. All right, indeed. Yeah, give me the Thunder +10 in Philadelphia versus the 76ers. Too many points here for the Thunder. OKC is 10-2 against the spread as a dog of 5 or more in their last 12 games. They play in a lot of close games. Average loss comes by 8.3 points, which might sound high, but it's actually the 4th lowest in the NBA. We're getting 10 points here versus a Sixers team that often plays down to the competition. Outright losses this season to the Rockets, the Wizards twice, the Spurs, and the Hornets. A bad loss at home versus the Bulls a week ago. They don't always bring their A game. Maybe getting a little bored here too after destroying the Pistons the last 2 times out, the Pissers. And the Thunder are the better defensive team here lately. Over the last 10 games, OKC ranks higher in opponent EFG percentage, points allowed per 100 possessions, and they're forcing more turnovers. Expect OKC to give Philly a game tonight in beautiful Philadelphia. All right, Ian, your final pick of the show. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vegas Golden Knights small home favorites against the Florida Panthers tonight. A little interconference late night action if you want a late night sweat tonight.
Oh, yes. I love interconference games.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love it.
Nothing gets me going like an interconference matchup.
Damn!
Give me the Golden Knights minus 130 here. We're going to stop looking at the Florida Panthers as a top-tier team. They are not nearly as good as they were last year when they won the President's Trophy. They got a lot of holes, but let's just look at overall Corsi percentage. 4th in the NHL over their last 10 games is the Vegas Golden Knights. The Panthers all the way down at 12th. And actually, if you even just look at the record, the Panthers right now, if the playoff start of the today, would not be in the NHL postseason. Pretty shocking first half of the season for the Panthers. And a big reason why is because they have been terrible in their own end. 16th in expected goals against over their last 10 games. And much like I mentioned with the Maple Leafs a little bit earlier, I'm also surprised to see how good defensively the Golden Knights have been playing. 6th in expected goals against over that same stretch. And then you look at the Florida goaltending situation, and maybe this is a big reason why they haven't been nearly as good as this year. Sergei Bobrovsky has a disappointing .894 save percentage this season. He has an .886 save percentage on the road this season and an .878 save percentage in his 3 starts so far this month. To be fair, he has not yet been confirmed for tonight. I am going to expect him to start, though. And that's not good news for anyone who's going to bet on the Panthers as underdogs. So give me the Vegas Golden Knights at home at minus 130.
Indeed. Okay, let's bring it home. I'm going to take a big swing here tonight in the NBA. Hit a couple of these on Tuesday night, so let's try to hit another. I'm going to take LeBron James to score 40 or more points. That one's going off at odds of plus 330. Let's take a swing because LeBron is on an absolute scoring tear at the moment. 2 40-plus point games in his last 4 games. He also just dropped 37 his last time out. The Lakers won each of these games, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. Let the man shoot. He just played Dallas on Christmas Day. He dropped 38 points on them. He was actually a few minutes shy of his season average in that one. And you're absolutely nuts if you don't think other superstars look across the floor and see Luka, want to outduel the guy. Hopefully that will be the case for LeBron here tonight, as it was on Christmas Day. And expect a lot of trips to the free throw line. A lot of freebies for LeBron here. Double-digit free throw attempts aren't rare for LeBron. He had 12 in that game versus Dallas, who's playing very undisciplined defense at the moment. They're allowing the most free throw attempts per game in the NBA over the last 10 games. So LeBron James to score 40 or more points going off at plus 330 tonight. Absolutely beautiful. Ever do this exercise, Ian, when I'm doing my read and you're not on camera? Work those love handles? It's a good one. There we go. If you're at home watching in a chair, you can exercise while watching the show. Excellent core workout, right? Oh, it's burning now.
Oh, yeah.
Burning, Ian?
Oh, yeah. Six-pack, here I come.
Man. Feels good, man. You're exercising when you're watching Chasing That Paper. All right, guys, if you're looking to tail any of that action, or if you're looking to fade any of it, the choice quite simply is yours. I recommend placing your action over at BetMGM. Kick off your day of sports betting with the king of sportsbooks. Sign up with BetMGM using bonus code VIBONUS, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. That's VIBONUS, all one word, no spaces, and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. You must be 21 or older. BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Woo! Guys, if you're watching on YouTube right now, do me a favor. Like button right down there. A subscribe button. Oh, the graphic went up right. I don't know if he did that on purpose or if that's accidental. I kind of like that, though. I kind of like it. Yeah, give us a sub. Give us a like. Okay, Ian, a couple different topics to kick around here. First things first, PGA, the Sony Open, teeing off here shortly. You did pretty good last week.
Yes.
Off to a winning start here in the PGA season. So what are you looking at in the Sony Open here, which tees off here shortly?
Yes, I needed a Colin Morikawa absolute meltdown on the back nine for John Rahm to win, but it did cash for me, plus 650. Also hit a top 10. So this week, Sony Open tees off in about an hour. My outright pick, a couple of South Koreans at the top of the odds board in Tom Kim and Sung Jae-in, but I'm looking at the third South Korean. I think the age of male South Korean golf might have arrived. I I think the third South Korean on the odds list is my best bet to win outright. That is K.H. Lee. This is a guy who has played very well in the early parts of the PGA Tour season, dating back to the fall swing. He has 3 top 10 finishes, third place finish at the CJ Cup, T7 at the Tournament of Champions last week. So he's been playing pretty well, pretty good form here. He enters this event ranking 10th in total strokes gained on the PGA Tour this season, but also more importantly, if you look at his approach numbers, he's very good from 150 to 200 yards out, which is where the majority of approach shots come at this course. So I like KH Lee. 40-1, I found him at. If you want a couple top 10 bets, Tom Hoagie, top 10 at plus 225. Taylor Montgomery, top 10 at plus 300. Just a quick word about Taylor Montgomery. I think he's going to be the rookie of the year on the PGA Tour this season. The fall swing, which I know almost nobody pays attention to, he had 3 top 10 finishes, 6 top 25 finishes, and he did not miss a single cut in 7 different starts. He's 11th in strokes gained putting. He can putt extremely well. He is 14th in total strokes gained. His approach game has been a little bit shaky, but he's so good off the tee and so good with his putting that he makes up for it. So Taylor Montgomery, top 10, 3-1 I like as well. Keep an eye out for him. He's going to be a guy you're going to want to bet on early in the season before people learn who he is. So Taylor Montgomery, keep an eye out for him, top 10 at 3-1. So there's a few picks for you. KH Lee to win, Tom Hoagie, top 10, Taylor Montgomery, top 10.
All right, there you have it. I like Tony Finau outright, personally. It's nice to see Ian very high on the male South Korean golf scene. Male South Korean golf stan, Iain MacMillan. So
well, South Koreans have dominated the women's game for a little time, and now they're going to start taking over the men's game here.
Yeah, the men are catching up.
Yeah,
equality in South Korean golf. It's nice to see. Okay, guys. So a lot of news here leading up to Super Wildcard Weekend. It broke after the show yesterday that Tua will not be playing. I think that's, for the best. Had they put Tua in that game and they're getting absolutely blasted and he has another concussion, that would be just an epic disaster. First of all, it would be for Tua, but just from, an optics and PR standpoint and all that bullshit. So all of the clickbait type of content coming out on Tua, people saying, hey, the Dolphins, they got to move on from this guy now. And I would agree that, hey, Tua has the ability, but he hasn't really had the availability. The missed games are really starting to pile up. But what's the answer? If they can bring in Tom Brady, sure, take a shot there. But people are throwing out these names. I've had a dozen different people say Lamar Jackson to me about how the Dolphins should bring in Lamar Jackson. Do you not realize that would be trading one problem for essentially a different version of that problem? That's missed games. Have you not noticed Lamar Jackson has now missed 2 consecutive Decembers? Where's Lamar Jackson at ahead of Wild Card Weekend? He's not even on the sideline cheering on his team on the stretch run of the season. Absolute crickets from Lamar Jackson. And you also have to consider for Tua, he's not costing the team anything. This guy is still on a rookie deal. And I know it didn't end very good for the guy. And yeah, bad luck with the injuries. But you look at his season as a whole, the stats don't lie. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL this season. So if the option's there for maybe Tom Brady, I mean, the Dolphins, this is a rock-solid roster. If you could bring in a Brady and improve the offensive line, Brady, of course, would bring Gronk with him, I'm sure. But I don't understand what else you do. Derek Carr, I don't know about that. You want to pay that guy a bunch of money to come in? Here's what I do. If Tua's okay, hopefully time will help him with this issue and they can, surround him with better protection and stuff next year and he comes into training camp feeling 100%. I would go in and get Taylor Heineke as a backup here for the Dolphins. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is really the answer, but I think Heineke is a guy who still kind of has youth on his side, and he wasn't exactly surrounded by the best offense in Washington. So that's what I would do if you're the Dolphins. Spend the money elsewhere. Tua's still on that rookie deal, not costing them a thing. So what do you think about the whole future of the quarterback position? It's going to be a hot topic here for the Dolphins here in the coming months, Ian.
Yeah, go back with Tua, man. I mean, a couple concussion issues. I think he's going to be fine. I think I brought this up before, but remember in Sidney Crosby, people were saying that he should retire because of his concussion issues. He's going to have the offseason off. He's going to return. next year and be all right. Yeah, maybe go and get a decent backup just in case. I don't mind that Heineke call. He'd probably be one of the best backups in the NFL. Maybe Gardner Minshew. Is Gardner Minshew's contract done with the Eagles? He's got to be another really good backup, but I think Tua's going to be fine. I still think he had one of the better seasons amongst all quarterbacks. I think he's going to be fine. He'll come back healthy next year and get things done. So I think they'll be all right. Let's not panic. They made the playoffs, Joe. They took a step forward. The Dolphins are okay.
Listen,
they'll be fine.
My fellow Dolphins fans, you got to be realistic here, guys. When the Dolphins were 8-3, and I was a little guilty of this as well, but a lot of Dolphins fans were fucking rubbing that right in everyone's faces, showing all the receipts and stuff like that. And now, they absolutely choked down the stretch, some tough games and some bad luck as well, but they're still complaining about this team. Listen, they made the playoffs. That's a step in the right direction. That is a win for this team. And if they get their ass kicked by the Bills, people will still be complaining. What do you expect? I think that Miami might be able to give them a little bit of a game. So more quarterback news. It's looking less and less likely like Lamar Jackson is going to be suiting up on Sunday night to take on the Bengals. This is a topic that we've been kicking around a lot during his absence from the team. And as I've kind of said, I think it's a huge red flag that we're hearing absolute crickets from Lamar Jackson. I even remember a couple Thursday night football games ago when it was the Rams versus the Raiders. Remember the Rams that comeback, Baker Mayfield? Matthew Stafford, who had been out forever, he was on the sideline for that game, helping out. He was in Baker Mayfield's ear. You're seeing stuff like that. And that team had absolutely nothing to play for. Meanwhile, you have the Ravens who are going down the stretch. It looked like they were going to get into the playoffs. They need to win a couple games, but nothing from Lamar. Where is he helping out these young guys? This is a guy asking for a shitload of money. So I think that they're headed towards a divorce. A couple months ago, I predicted that I think things aligned for him to go to the Saints. And I'm going to expand this a little bit. I think all the teams that were in on Deshaun Watson, who didn't get him, the Saints, the Panthers, who put themselves in a spot where they're not going to be able to get one of the top quarterbacks, and the Atlanta Falcons, Ian's Atlanta Falcons. Also, I'll throw another name in there. Of course, the New York Jets, who will be in the market for a quarterback. Wouldn't it be the most Jets thing ever? They give Lamar Jackson just a shit ton of money. 6 games into the season, major injury. Zach Wilson has to come in for the rest of the season. I would love to see that as a fan of the Miami Dolphins, AFC East rival. So, Ian, would you welcome this man, Lamar Jackson, taking over the reins of your Atlanta Falcons?
I wouldn't, because I don't think he's worth the money that he'd be getting paid. I mean, if we got him on a decent deal, then sure. But we need to stop looking at Lamar Jackson as the guy who won MVP in 2019. He's had 3 seasons since then, and he hasn't looked good. Well, he's been fine. He's been above average in the past 3 seasons. Just look at the thing like QBR. Like QBR, he had an 83 QBR when he won MVP. The last 3 seasons, he has QBRs of 67.3, 50.7, and 59.4. Not even close to his MVP level. So I see a lot of people on Twitter, we're signing an MVP, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not. 3 straight seasons now, he has not been the guy he was in 2019. Now, I will say, the Falcons, to be fair, they might be actually the best stylistic fit for Lamar Jackson, because the Falcons are very much a run-first team, and their offense was kind of based around the run this season. And the Falcons also, for non-Falcons fans who might not know this, the Falcons cap completely opens up this offseason. Their management has called this Phase 2 of the new regime with Tony Fontenot and Arthur Smith, the new GM and the new head coach. They're entering Phase 2 because the past couple of seasons they've had to pay off the Julio Jones contract. They've had to pay off the Matt Ryan contract. They could not do anything. They're in salary cap hell, and this offseason they completely opens up. So from a money standpoint, it makes a lot of sense to sign Lamar Jackson, and I think he's going to end up in Atlanta, but I don't think he's worth the money that he's likely going to get. 2 straight seasons, he's played 12 games and then just quit on his team. Now, that might not be fair because, sure, it was an injury. It's a PCL or something, but a sprained PCL, you're not supposed to be out for this long. And to your point, Joe, he's not even on the sideline helping his team out. He's just gone. So He's not a guy I want on my team. If we get him on a decent deal, then I'll take him. I don't think we're going to, though. I think we're going to give him one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, and it's going to, whoever signs him, I think it's going to bite them in the butt like the Cardinals did with Kyler Murray this offseason. So he's going to end up in Atlanta. I'm not going to be happy about it, though.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of examples of the running quarterback that style lending itself to longevity. You go with Michael Vick. You know, I know he went to prison and he came back, and it was a decent comeback, but he didn't last very long into that second part of his career. He started to break down. You know, you don't see a whole lot of 33, 34-year-old quarterbacks running for, 80, 100 yards. So, yeah, that'll be very interesting.
To that point, really quick, the counter-argument to saying Lamar Jackson isn't lasting long with his health because he's running all the time. People say nobody says that about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's having health issues this year. He hasn't missed any games, but he's got some issues, and I think it's because of how much he runs and how much punishment he takes. So, I don't think it's going to work out for Josh Allen. We might see some regression from him in the coming seasons because of some injuries. So, it's tough.
Yeah, and you could also argue for Lamar that maybe we haven't seen his full capability as a passer. He hasn't exactly been surrounded by fantastic weapons. Andrews is a pretty good tight end. Who's the best receiver he's had over the years? The skill position players on the Ravens, not exactly dynamite. So who knows? He has Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Maybe could be a nice fit. Maybe he would run the ball a little bit less. Okay, moving on to the NBA now. We put up a poll on the Vegas Insider Twitter feed asking people to weigh in. We're at the midpoint already of the NBA season. My God. No big shock here. Luka, just a machine, night in and night out, plus 290. I still think Jokic, man, there's value here. The back-to-back winner, I think he's like 0.7 assists shy from averaging a triple-double, which is insanity. So he's got the Nuggets playing good, one of the better teams in the West. Of course, Jason Tatum's going to be there in the discussion all season. Giannis, the Bucks are a little bit down this year. I don't know. It's like a narrative-driven award. There's no stats that go into place or metrics to measure who the most valuable player is. They don't always keep into account, is it actually who's most valuable to their team? It's probably Luka. I mean, if you take Luka off the Mavs, that's a lottery team. I don't think you could necessarily say that about the Bucks. Obviously, the Nuggets aren't going to be as good. They got a couple good players there, and Celtics have a couple good players too. So, it's Luka's to lose at this point. If he stays healthy and he keeps putting up these 30-point, 40-point games, it's his to lose. So I would have to agree with the chalk pick there. Okay, guys, let me tell you a little bit about the Vegas Insider app. The Vegas Insider app gives you all the major sports betting odds at your fingertips, along with picks and expert breakdowns. You can shop for the best odds, find props, futures, and plenty more with the app. If you want more Vegas Insider content like our shows, videos, and podcasts, you can find it all on the app in the media section. Download the Vegas Insider app on Apple or Android. Bet better with the Vegas Insider app. Yes. All right, let's get into some viewer picks here. A handful of submissions here this morning. Some NHL, some college hoops. Matty Poppy Sports, resident trend better. He always finds some golden nuggets. The big Milwaukee Northern Kentucky game tonight, Ian. I know you got this one circled. Milwaukee -1.5. Northern Kentucky is one of the worst ATS teams in the country. 3-11 overall, 1-7 ATS in their last 8, and 0-4 ATS in their last 4 road games. Milwaukee, 7-3 ATS in their last 10. So a big fade of Northern Kentucky. Super under the radar one there. We wish our guy good luck with that one. Mighty Puppy Sports. And of course, regular contributor here, Nathan Schreckengost. He and I both missed out on our team totals in the Predators-Leafs game last night. turned out to be a low-scoring game unexpectedly. Yeah, I was looking at this one too. He likes the over 6.5. The Predators once again in Montreal, both ranked in the top 5 in expected goals allowed, Corsi against, high danger chances allowed, and shots allowed in the last 10 and 5-on-5 play. Both awful defensive teams right now. Montreal has allowed 4+ in 8 straight. They stink with an average of 5.25 per game over that span. Saros played last night. Should see the backup here for the Preds. Nashville won this matchup 6-3 just 9 days ago. Yeah, the Montreal Canadiens, a once proud franchise, has become an absolute and total disgrace. All right, what do we have next? All right, we have Iowa Gonzaga. Iowa Gonzaga. I'm a bit confused. Oh, so I think he's on Iowa here. He likes the money line. Iowa has won. This is from Captain Axe's Locks, by the way. Iowa has won 2 straight following their 3-game losing streak. Michigan 1-1 on the road this season. Minnesota and Michigan State. Big game for the Hawkeyes to get to 500 in the Big Ten. Gonzaga, 38% from 3. I don't know who's he.
This is Joe, this is a money line parlay. Iowa's taking on Michigan and Gonzaga is taking on BYU.
All right,
it's a money line parlay.
Right. I was like, I thought he was taking Iowa over Gonzaga, and I was like, it's only -110, but okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I got to go through these a little bit closer, I suppose, before we go to air here. See, producer Tito. JFC. I don't know if he's complaining about me or the person submitting the pick, but that's on me. I take the blame. I take accountability. Okay, we wrap it up here, I think, with Chips Picks Daily. It's another one I was looking at. I don't know if I'm going to bet on any hockey tonight, but he likes the Islanders -105. Over the last 3 weeks, the Islanders rank 8th in Corsi percentage, 5th in expected goals percentage, and 6th in save percentage. Over that same span, Minnesota ranks 19th in Corsi percentage and 24th in expected goals percentage. The Islanders much better on their home ice too, especially Sorokin. If he's in net tonight, one of the best goalies in the NHL. When he's on his home ice. Absolutely. Okay, guys, before I forget to do it, I want to tell you about today's Handicapper Heat Check presented by VegasInsider.com, your home for the best expert picks in the business since 1997. Today's featured expert is Bruce Marshall, who went 12-5 across all sports last night. That's a good night, including 9-2 in college hoops. Kevin Thomas nailed 7 straight NHL winners, and Brian Edwards continued his streak of going 5-1 in all sports last night and 14-3 across his last 17 NBA totals. Visit VegasInsider.com/picks for tonight's top expert picks. That's your Handicapper Heat Check. Stay hot, bettors. Woo! All right, Ian, listen to what I have planned for the rest of my day. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
I'm going to get a massage.
Really?
And then I'm going to buy boxes.
What?
I'm going to get a massage, then I'm going to buy boxes. I'll put in my house on the market soon, and we're starting to pack stuff up because you got to show your house and you got to have a lot of stuff out of it, right? Now,
what a day.
I would doubt. I'm the only person in the world, I would guess, that is going to get a massage and also going to buy boxes. You think that's accurate? Out of the billions of people in the world?
I'd say there was 6 other people that are doing that today.
Okay.
In the entire world, there's got to be someone else getting a massage and then buying boxes.
To buy boxes. Buying boxes is rare. Like a lot of time you work in an office, I work from home, and you say, hey, can you save the paper boxes or whatever? But yeah, I found a good deal at Home Depot. If you're looking to buy boxes, I shopped around. Amazon, Canadian Tire up here in Canada. Rip off.
Shout out Canadian Tire.
There. Yeah, box buyer, absolutely. All right, what do you have planned the rest of the day, Ian?
Well, I'm going to continue to work. I'm going to write some articles. I got a show on Stacking the Box on the YouTube channel, breaking down some NFL picks.
Stacking the Box,
there.
nice.
I think that's at 3 p.m., so check that out. And other than that, I'm going to lift some weights tonight, Joe. I'm getting back into weightlifting. bench press.
Indeed. Yeah, I got the book back here. Tito wants to bring the camera back to me. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the new encyclopedia of modern bodybuilding. That is the best sports book that you can buy. None of those guys are on steroids, by the way. All natural. You going to be all natural weightlifter, Ian, or are you going to get into the juice?
Oh, I'll be getting into the juice. I'll be pumping some roids into these veins. I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, I was thinking I'm getting up there a little bit. I was thinking about going on TRT and HGH. It takes some shortcuts. Why not, right?
Of course.
There's no shame in that.
No.
It's all about the glory. If you're I'm in the bodybuilding for the glory of it, right?
Yes.
So if you're in it for the glory of it, you're going to take some shortcuts.
Yes.
Any edge you can get over the next motherfucker. And let me weigh in on something here for a second here, Ian. We were on the show last week. It was the first week of the month, and I talked to you. I said, hey, the gym is absolutely packed. And I said, hey, I encourage that, though. A lot of people give those people, the new gym people, a hard time, like, oh, you're just going to quit. I go to the gym yesterday, not half as much people there. So a message for the new gym goers who might be watching the show right now, don't you fucking quit. You will make a compromise in your head where you will just decide that you're not going to go to the gym anymore. You made another compromise in your head 2 weeks ago that you were going to go. So don't you fucking quit. You don't have to go 5 days a week. Go 3 days a week and start light. Take it easy. Do a full body workout with light weights. Do 10 minutes of cardio. Make it a habit. Don't you fucking quit. Ian, any words of inspiration before we sign off for the viewers?
Yeah, don't let the demons in your head allow you to convince yourself that you need a day off. At least go for a walk. If you're really sore or tired, just at least go for a walk. Do something. Do something every single day. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I'm fat and out of shape, but I'm trying to fix that, Joe. I'm still sticking to dry January. Haven't had a drink in 2023. 12 days in.
Yeah, lift weights tonight. We're all about health here at Chasing That Paper. So yeah, we encourage you. Do not quit. You'll feel good about yourself too if you do it. You'll feel like dog shit. You don't compromise with that little voice in your head. All right, guys, we're going to be right back at you tomorrow. The Super Wildcard Weekend edition of Chasing That Paper. Me and Ian breaking down our best bets for the first round of NFL playoff action. Same time, same place, right here on the Vegas Insider YouTube channel at 11 Eastern tomorrow. Best of luck with your picks tonight, unless you are fading us. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo!